Welcome to Practical Programming. Here we're going to solve another problem. So let's have a look. So today's question is achieving anagram. Well, I have no clue what anagram is, but I will try to explain later on. So in this problem, the given details are like this. For given two strings, how many characters we need to delete to make them anagram of each other? Okay, we need to figure out the anagram portion. We're gonna go there later on. So let's have a look at what kind of input and output we are dealing with. So according to details of the problem, we would be given two strings. How many number of characters we have to delete to make that an anagram? So in this given input, we have tar and rat, these two strings, and apparently they are already an anagram. Therefore, we do not have to delete any character. So the output will be 0. With that said, let's have a look at the definition of anagram, what exactly it is. So according to the definition, to simply put, it's nothing but a word whose letters are rearranged to create another word, and all the letters in that word needs to be used exactly once. Let's have a look. So if we are given with a word tar, tar, we have to arrange its letters in such a way we get another word, but all the letters needs to be used only once. Okay, so we get rat. All letters are used and they're consistent, so we can say it's an anagram. Let's look at another example. We have pat. Let's rearrange the letters again and we get tap. So these are made in such a way that we can rearrange them, and you get a whole new word. What we can make out of it in anagram, the number of characters or number of letters in each string should be equal, and every letter needs to be used only once in each strings. So that's something I can make out so far. Let's have a look at a couple of more examples. So we know rat and tar, pat and tap are already anagrams, so we don't need to delete any character. How about if we are given with two strings which are roast and real? We know R and A are the only two letters which match with each other, and the rest of the letters don't. So we have to delete those characters to we'll have something to compare. So if we delete 5 characters, we get R and A in both strings. So that could be an anagram. We are not looking for exact word which has any meaning. We are looking for only characters. So we're gonna be left with R and A, and we'll delete all of the characters. So in the output, you'll see number of characters to be deleted of 5. If you look, let's look at the next example, rail safety and fairy tales. If you rearrange these characters in such a way, you can get the other string. So we don't need to delete any character, so our output should be 0. And let's look at 5, 3. We only have common, which is E, which only needs to come once. Every other character we don't need, so we need to delete that. So characters to be deleted are 7. Same goes for restful, cluster. Let's look at the last example, which is Mike and Mark. M and K is the only character which matches in those two strings. Everything else needs to be deleted. So 4 characters we need to delete. Now that we have that, let's try to solve our problem. Alright, now that we know what an anagram is, and we know the problem is about deleting number of characters or letters from either strings, that we can make that an anagram if it is not. So let's write another class, test 1 or 2. Please do not name what I'm doing because they do not make sense. Alright, that sounds okay. Alright, once I'm done, I'm gonna put this on GitHub and with some documentations for you to look that up. Okay, let's run this. Not sure why I'm doing that, but it's always helpful. Oh boy, why is this running everything through Gradle again? Just give me 1 second, I'll change that. Build to Gradle, come on. Okay, you know what? I never thought I'm gonna miss Mac so much. Not that I hate Windows. Windows I've been using for a very long time. Okay. So we need to take a input from user about 2 strings. Okay, so we're gonna need a scanner to do that. We used that on previous problem as well. If you do not understand these keywords, I will explain them sometime later. Scanner, but as I said, the usual job is to get input from the user from the consoles, and I would be doing that. So let's take a first screen. Okay, first string, not screen, what am I saying? String, first text. Okay, that would be, and we would be reading that from scanner. Next line. All right, let's read that, and I'll try to output that if that shows up right. Oops, my bad. Okay, we'll see if we can get that from our console. It could be this is me. Alright, we are able to get the input, so we just need to duplicate it. Okay, the way I did it is I was on this line and I did Control D on Windows. Should be Command D for Mac. Let's create the second text. Alright, I don't have to do that. I know it's to read it. You know what? Let's check that as well. I can run this one more time. This is first, this is second. Alright, that does work. So we have taken the input from the user. Now we need to solve the problem. Before jumping into the solution, it's really helpful to know how we're going to do that, of course, needless to say it. But let's come up with a strategy. What makes an anagram? So we will generalize the problem, generalize the solution actually. So if we have tab, okay, and pat. So if you look at it, you'll find t comes, number of time t comes is 1, then a comes once in both strings, so does p comes once in both strings. Let's say if this was e over here, okay, e, and there was a e over here, so we could say, and both of them are still anagrams. We are not trying to come up with something with a word which makes sense or has a meaning to it. We just want to make sure the characters, if they are arranged, they are anagram or not. So even if it's in this case, we are making sure all of that coming at least once in each. Let's say if a t were to be here twice, it needs to be here somewhere here twice as well, here or here. So over here it's going to come twice, and it's still anagram. So we need to make sure t comes in both the string twice, a comes once in both the strings, and so on and so on, and that makes anagram. But if we find in our this registry one of the characters not matching the another strings, we have to delete it to make sure the other string matches to that. So I need to keep this top of my head so I don't forget it later on. So I'm gonna put this right over here. Okay, if that is any helpful. Alright, so I need to create a hash table which will have key of those characters, and hash table will have integer, as a value how many times that character was repeated, okay, in each string. So let's try to do that. Hash table. If you don't know what it is, you might want to spend some time learning it, because it's one of the very useful tools or utilities we have in programming. So it would be first hash table, and let me initialize that, and this would be for second. Okay, now that I have that, I have to initialize both of them. So when I enter some values here, I have to create the registry for both of these and compare them, so I would know what to delete and how many to delete. Initialize, what I'm spelling, initialize table, and I'm gonna say I need to provide it string, first string, and a hash table. So let's say first hash table. Let me create that. I'm gonna click on this, alt enter, create method. Now it has these two, string and hash table. Let me iterate through these two. Okay, just give me one second here. How do I arrange this? Let me just do this. Okay, cool. If you can read that, nice. So let's take a for loop on first text. First text is the string. I need to char array, so I will loop through all the characters, and I want to do this using for loop. It's called for each loop. So I have the character with me, so it's gonna loop through one character at a time. Let's see how does that work. Character, cool. So if I run this, say hello, okay, another string now. So I gave the first string to it, so it parsed through it, iterated through all of that. Okay, now that we have that, we have to do this for second as well. Initialize hash table, and if you're going to provide second text, second hash table, so it will get initialized as well. So let's get to work at this one. So let's say our it's gonna be any hash table, right? Hash table, or let's just say table. All right. If contains key would be that character. If it is inside, okay, else. What do we do if that hash table does not have that character already? We're gonna say table put that character and initialize the value to 1, and if that value is there, okay, let's just do this. Table get a number of how many values it has by that character. Okay, let me just do this alt enter so I can have some value. Current value, okay, and I'll say table put character, and I would have to increment this current value, because that character appeared one more time and previously it was existent. We will take number of integers, I mean number of times it came, and we'll increase that by 1. So let's just check if that works okay for us. Let me just put a breakpoint here. Alright, let me run this code. Hello, hello, now enter, So if I come over here, first hash table has created registry in this L is coming twice, H coming one, E comes one, O comes once, and we have for the second table N comes one, O comes one, W comes one. So we have the registry created. We just need to write a code to compare it. Alright, we don't need this, so we just need to write a function which will help us delete number of characters. So let's write something. Number of character to delete. I know it's a awfully big name, just bear with me. I'll have something delete. Okay, you know what, just let me put that here. I know how obscure it looks. I'm gonna clear that up later on. So I have written I need a function which will take what is going on. It will take a function, okay, it will take both the hash table, like both registries which I have, and it will return number of digits to be deleted. Okay, so let's create a variable here, and number to be deleted is equal to 0. Why I'm not using Kotlin anymore, I don't know. Alright, my bad. We'll have that cleared. So whatever comes here, we're gonna print that. Right now if I were to run my code, it's gonna always return 0 because I'm not doing anything inside here. So let's loop through the first table, key set. We're gonna use for each, and let's see for that character how many times that appears. So we'll say first table get, for that character we will try to get some value, current value. Alright, let me just write as integer because that's what it is. And we want to know if this second table has the same key, contains key character. If both of them have it, then we can work with that. If one table has it, other does not have it, so in else condition we want to delete that. So we're going to delete that here. Number of characters to be deleted is current value, because that many times it appears on the first table and it's not there in the second one, so we need to delete that portion. Okay, my scrolling is bad over here. Cool, now that I have that. But let's say we do happen to have the same character in first and second, both of string, then we have to check how many times it comes in both the places. So we can write in second value and gonna say second hash table get character, so we'll know how many times that character comes in the second table, and we'll compare. If first hash no, not that, I mean current value, how many times it comes in the first table is not equal to how many times that character comes in second table. If that is not equal, then we need to work with. So we need to get an offset, how many times they do not match. So we'll use something called math function, get the minimum to match which is the lesser value of these two. So I'm going to say current value, second values, and in this utility will, or this function will return me whichever is a smaller number. Okay, and we need to save that in both the tables. So current value, put no first hash table, put character, and I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna say offset, save it, and I'm gonna do the same thing for second table. But I also need to know if they do not match what needs to be deleted. Okay, I'm gonna do this, and I'm gonna use math function again. Math function max is current value and second value. It has, and I'm gonna reduce that by the minimum times it, because the minimum value is being stored right now, so we're gonna save that. Oh, and I gonna need colon here, semicolon, and I guess that should do it. But what if we have some characters which appears on the second hash table, but not on the first? So we have to kind of repeat this. It's gonna look a little ugly, but let me do that real quick. So this is gonna be second hash table, and then you're gonna compare with the first hash table if that has it. The first table has it, get that value and compare it, and then reduce it. I guess that should do it. You know what, let me just run this code real quick, and we'll get to see if it works. So again, say tab and pat, I should get 0. That makes sense. If I have roast, okay, and if I have real, I get 5, so that's correct as well. And if I do this, what else? Mark and Mike, so I get 4. So I believe our anagram is working. Let me know what you think about the code, if I need any corrections or if you have a better solution. I will try to answer them in the comments, and from there we'll pick it on and try to improve this. Thank you so much for your time, and I hope you enjoyed it. Please subscribe so that I can make more videos. You have a very good day.